Getting to Nebula and BO6 zombies is a grind, and since I finally achieved it, let me share my knowledge with you and let's get right into it. First up is before you even go into your game, you want to mess with your loadout and make sure it's tuned up. Whatever weapon you're currently aiming to get gold on is the weapon that you're going to want to put on, and when it comes to attachments, make sure that you always run the suppressor, as it will drop a significant amount more salvage and is 100% beneficial. Other than that, it's mostly personal preference. I always use a sight and every other attachment that I can to increase either my damage or my mobility, and never do I really use laser. Frenzied Guard is 100% the field upgrade you want to be using, and then your lethal and tactical are totally up to you, as I don't really use lethals because they take away your kills, and for tacticals you can use them to help you with certain things. Gobblegums I don't use much either, but here's a kit that I know is solid, and if you choose to use it, if you want to use them, go ahead. I just kind of farm up for them while I'm farming camos. Now, using augments is of course incredibly beneficial, and at some point I'm planning to make a video of all the best augments, but for now the key ones are going to be for Frenzied Guard and Deadshot. For Deadshot I recommend Dead Break and Dead First. For Frenzied Guard I would go with Extension and Frenzied Fire 110%. So since directed mode was added in, it's seeming to be the best way to get camos now. Since we don't know if this will be patched, I'll briefly touch on it. The super simple method abuses the round cap and makes getting Nebula the most boring and easy thing in the entire world. You simply load into a match of Liberty Falls in directed mode, unlock all the way up to the church to where it'll put the round cap at round 10, and do not interact with the mysterious machine or this will make the round cap go up. So whatever you do, just buy up to the church where you can get Pack-a-Punch and do not interact with that mysterious machine. When you're round capped on 11, a Mangler will spawn every single round, and it takes a minute for a round to end or so you can get, you know, roughly 33 zombies and a Mangler every round, which makes it so the rounds end in about a minute because it's so quick, and this allows you to get your gold camos with your headshots so easy, and your Opal camos super easy because of the Mangler that spawns every round, and then of course Afterlife will be easy too because it's around 11 and really simple. Once you need to get Nebula, that's at the point where you'll want to go ahead and interact with the machine and go all the way up until you need to put down the LTG step. At this step, then it will spawn in an HVT, so you have to defend a portal. Once you defend it, you will have an HVT spawn in, and if you kill it without putting it in the container, so just kill it flat out and not progress in the step, whenever the round ends, you'll be able to interact with the LTG again and spawn another HVT, which gets you those 10 elite kills in 10 rounds essentially for each gun, which again makes those incredibly easy. So you can literally do every single gun in the game in literally like one game. Of, you know, there are obviously with your melees you're going to need to restart, but if you load in, get the melee done, and then load out and load back in again and get yourself all set up, you can essentially do all of these camos in one game. It's ridiculous. Okay, so migrating over to the legit method, not really the Nebula method, but in general some tips that I have. Okay, so the first step is the same for every gun, for the most part anyway. It's 2,000 critical kills with an exception for explosive weapons, being just your plain old normal kills. Well, I should mention that there are two weapons that you cannot pack-a-punch to get the critical kills because they become explosive. The GS45 pistol and the LR761 sniper, that essentially turns into Mustang and Sally and the scavenger from BO1. This makes them an extra pain to get the critical kills done, but you got it, and just follow the same process, just leave a little earlier for the pistols. Now, for the critical kills, I highly recommend Liberty Falls. From here, the plan is pretty simple. Look to your right and turn on the Rampage Inducer and stay on top of the spawn roof until you beat the first Vermin round. Now, at that point, once you've beaten the Vermin round, you can choose whether or not you want to leave on the Inducer or not. I always choose to leave it on as it helps significantly speed up the process. So at this point you want to jump down and buy the way up all the way to the Speed Cola area, where you're going to go on top of that building where Speed Cola is and buy the sniper up there, or you can lower your field of view to 60 to do the Deadshot Easter egg, which I will show you now on screen. Just shooting these 5 cans will give you free Deadshot, and you don't have to wait until round 25. This is critical to speeding up this process. Once I have Deadshot, I will Pack-a-Punch and wait for about round 10, where you can now do the Falling Zombie Easter egg, where you explode the zombie at the top of the church to get a free blue rarity upgrade. At this point, with the money I have, I buy Jug, Stamina Up, and Quick Revive, and then I'll train in the area outside of the bowling alley for as long as I can until I feel like it's too dangerous, at which point I will switch my training spot to the spawn area, where there's much more space. Once I have 20,000 essence, I buy my full tier armor and speed cola, and then once I get 15k, I buy PAP 2, and then 30k, I buy PAP 3. Of course, when you have enough salvage, make sure that you are actively upgrading your weapons rarity until you get it to max, which is gold, and this is just literally basically equal to pack-a-punching, so make sure as soon as you have enough, you're upgrading your guns. The game plan is simple, to just strictly aim to kill zombies with your critical kills until you get 2,000. Now, once I reach round 31, I normally choose to exfil in the first game because your gun gets significantly weaker and rounds take significantly longer. Once I've exfilled, I will then restart the process, but this time fully finishing getting the gun gold. For vermin rounds, you want to sit right here, as this is going to make vermin rounds go super fast, and it's only going to make them spawn out of these two windows. Okay, so before you load into the sinking game, you need to check and see if one of your special challenges is to kill parasites, and if it is, you want to go to Terminus, this time instead of Liberty Falls. And it's simple, kind of do the same thing that you would do on Liberty Falls, but instead train in front of this big tank, and the process again is for Liberty Falls and Terminus the exact same principles, just different training spots and different maps. Okay. Let's talk special challenges. There are a few different types, vermin kills and parasite kills, which are incredibly simple. Other than that, you might have to switch your map because vermin are only on Liberty Falls and parasites are only on Terminus. So you might need to switch between those two maps to actually get the challenges done. So that's why I tell you to check before you load into your second game. Getting kills when pack-a-punched, again, super simple. Getting kills with a special ammo mod equipped, again, super simple. Getting 5 critical kills rapidly, which is called the Deadeye medal, which makes it easy to keep track of it, and if you've killed enough zombies, once you see the Deadeye pop up, you can refresh, making it easy. Getting kills with your weapons at rare or higher, again, pretty easy. Anyway, you get the idea. I don't feel like I need to explain too crazy, but you just gonna want to load into the second game, finish your critical kills, and then finish up those special kills, and then boom, you can move on to the gold step. Once you're on to the gold step, you need 10 kills rapidly 15 times. Making these really easy is to look at the screen when killing zombies until you see the massacre medal pop up, and then stop shooting, wait a few, and repeat until you do it 15 times and unlock the gold camo. Okay, Opal is 30 special zombies. The best way to do this is to get to a round where you feel like a decent amount of manglers are spawning, generally 25, 30 and up. And once all those manglers are spawning, you want to kill every zombie and mangler but the last zombie. So you want to kill every zombie but one and every mangler. Then you're going to save and quit and replay the round, which will give you double the special zombie kills. You can only save and quit once per round though, so you will have to finish the round that you were on, go to the end, save a zombie, and then save and quit and repeat and repeat and repeat, and however long you need. And that is unfortunately the most optimal way to do it in my opinion, but you can also I experimented with, instead of doing the save and quit method, I experimented with just kind of playing up into the high rounds and just going up. The save and quit method will speed up your time, but sometimes it makes it so manglers don't spawn and just abomination spawn. So it's something to keep in mind for, but ultimately for Opal, the easiest method really is kind of the save and quit method. But also I do recommend that you experiment with just kind of going and playing through, and you can get about 2 guns done per like round 35 plus game or so. So yeah. Okay, Afterlife, you need to get 20 kills 10 times without getting hit. Now this one sounds hard at first, but it really isn't that hard. Once you get a gun papped and get a train going, you can mow down 20 zombies without getting hit really easily. The Jackrabbit medal will pop up when you get 15 kills without getting hit. So once you get the 15, you just need to count 5, and then you'll need to force yourself to get hit and then repeat. I do want to note that Afterlife has 2 significantly harder weapons, which are the melee weapons, and right now 2, but it will have more. For example, the power drill and cleaver are just soon releasing. So the hard part for these is just that you have to get in a close proximity, which makes you more likely to get hit. What I did for these was, of course, 100% use your ether shroud, as it makes the zombies will ignore you and makes the kills easy. Use your void shroud for the ether shroud. The void one makes it so your melee weapons are basically overpowered. And you want to use tacticals like decoys, monkeys, things that will kind of keep the zombies well away from you and make it so that it's easy for you to go ahead and whack them, as well as just kind of hoarding them up and walking backward and keeping as much distance as possible with a good backup method, just to keep going and using your Aether Shroud as you get it is your best friend. Of course, this is a bit of a pain, but in time you will get it, and you only have to do this 10 times, so it's not so bad. And last but certainly not least, Nebula. To finally unlock Nebula, you will need to kill 10 elite zombies. These are abominations on Liberty Falls and amalgams on Terminus, and I recommend you just repeat the same step that you did for Opal to get this done, as it is 100% optimal. Once you get up to round 14, where your first abomination spawns in on Liberty Falls, save and quit, kill that abomination again, and repeat and repeat and repeat, as that is just the most optimal and easy way to do that. Also, again, with the abominations, you can use the same HVT method using the LTG, but honestly, using the LTG method, not using it in directed mode, seems a lot less. But it is an option there that you can use. Alright guys, I think that's about all the tips I have for you. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, make sure to let me know. Don't forget to like and sub. Much love. Have a good day and night, whatever time it is for you, and peace.